So, YouTube family, the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show was talking about a great segment on Shador Sanders, bro. They actually broke it down to a T what my dude went through during that draft process. Now, Shedeur, he's not going to really lash out. He's his father's son. He was raised properly. You know, if it was me, I got numbers on all you dudes who called my name out and played with my name. But with Shador Sanders, he did it the right way. But Boogie Knight, he joined the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. He's going to break it down to a T what the situation systematically happened with Shedeur, especially having too much faith in these Mayo folks who don't like him. So when he will go speak to these people, well, we actually seen what went down with it. He got comfortable and Shedeur pretty much lackadaisy around these and didn't realize they had his number on a swiggle on their board as to be enemy number one. We're gonna listen to Boogie Knight speak on it. And before we do, we gotta get my theme song out here.
I've been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. Mama say it's my fault, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Think it's best I put my...
So watching the situation, Boogie Knight had this to say about the entire Shedeur draft collapse that happened on that unfortunate 2025 draft day.
Trust me, like I even seen Coach Thomas said earlier, like how great his interview was with him when he visited and how it was totally different from some of the reports that we get from other places. Now, I'll explain this. Let's go back to the question you asked a few minutes ago. With some of those interviews, I would say it wasn't the lack of professionalism or being unprepared. He's never been unprepared. I think it was more so of a young kid getting comfortable and building a relationship with someone and probably trusting them a little too much and going into a room with his guard down, not understand like, man, this is a job interview still and they trying to pick you apart. Because you got to think the Giants and those teams, man, they've been in Boulder more than anybody. They've been there so much that almost to the point where he feel like, man, oh, we good. They have certain conversations off camera.
That's
like,
a good point.
Man, it's right. So now when I go in that room, it's these my people. Yeah, you know, we good.
I never thought about it. I never like if I'm like that's not the first time they ever met. Now I'm going back and forth. They've been there 2 years since I was junior. Yeah. We'd have talked, laughed, and joked about stuff.
You told me I'm your guy.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like, but like you said, that's how it is in interviews. You got to remember at all times they testing you and people's watching. So I never considered that, but
trust me, like I even seen Coach Thomas said earlier, like how great his interview was with him when he visited and how it was totally different from some of the reports that we get from other places. Now, I'll explain this. Let's go back to the question you asked a few minutes ago. Like with some of those interviews, I would say it wasn't the lack of.
Now, I'm going to give my synopsis and my truth about it. Like, the guy with the glasses, it seems that he's still, I'm not calling him a tap dancer or stepping fetching, but we still suffer from a seismic problem here where we're afraid to call out certain Mayo people for our job positions. And I noticed a fellow Mayo brother was in the room with him. That guy seems a good dude, but we're afraid to always be vocal the way the Mayo people are. Mayo guys wake up and they criticize us any way they want to without being afraid of losing jobs or losing friendships. And here is us afraid to tell the truth that won't even get us fired. And that's why I like what Boogie Knight said. I think they gave Shedeur the oopsie dozy. He knows some of these guys off the field due to his father and they talked to Shedeur. They got that man feeling like everything was cool. They got him feeling like, oh, okay, we rock with you, Shedeur. And the problem that happened here is Shedeur got too lackadaisy. But is that really a problem? Or did you rock-a-bye baby and rock Shedeur to sleep? Meaning you hid your hand. You made Shedeur felt like you guys were family. Shedeur being a natural person who socialized, networked with people. He's thinking he's talking to regular NFL personnel. He doesn't know he's talking to the nation of the Mayos. You know, guys who are really trying to throw you for the alley-oop, never had a need for you. They just wanted to say they conducted an interview with you and you were a problem. Like we've seen all the pundits and media. On one hand, you have anonymous sources saying that he was a problem in the interview. On the other hand, almost every single NFL team all saying the cliche thing. He was good. He was very vocal. He was not a problem at all. So which it is? this. Then we're finding out from Boomer, Boomer, who's a crappy quarterback all his life, Ison, whatever his name is. You know, I wanted to just do that. I don't want to say people's last name who I don't have respect for. The hell with Boomer. But back to that, Boomer already released the secret. We all know majority of the teams didn't even have Shedeur on their boards. As we seen from Mike Tomlin, he completely wasted Shedeur's time because as we seen, they didn't really need a quarterback, even though they need a quarterback. So what was the hoopla? It was the humiliation tradition, what they do to guys who are outspoken or to guys who are melanated, who are very influential. They can't have that going around. My kids seen this brother with the chain, this brother coming from a swagger family like Prime Time. You can't be seen in that type of light because you got all those sparkling eyes of the young adolescents looking at you. So in the next 20 years, which happens quick, 20 years goes by quick, y'all. I still remember being in elementary, but 20 years later, now you got all these young Shedeurs out here looking at the process. They can't have that at the National Football Plantation League. You have to have an order that's intact. You can start from Willie's letter. Don't let that go over your head, but Willie's letter promptly taught these plantation owners on how to handle their cattle, because that's what we were. And people say, Bless, you're going too deep about it. No, I'm not. I'm really not going deep enough because the house of YouTube is the house of YouTube. It's not my house. And scripture always told us, obey the laws of the land. So I do have to watch my words, but it don't mean I have to tap dance like fellow brothers who are so afraid. And that's the thing, I'm needed out here. My voice is deeply needed because I could have easily go in on Boogie Knight or his counterparts, but I'm not. I actually feel sorry for Boogie Knight's friend with the glasses and other brothers like that on TV, because I look at them and it's like, you're a big male, you're a big melanated brother, but yet you still watch your words, you're still tap dancing, you're still going to go with the negative side of things because your money matters. And I understand that. That's why I feel sorry for you. But guys like me are blessed to get an income without ever tap dancing, without ever being a stepping fetching, and without ever mincing my words. Because the truth, what happened in Shedeur that day will always remain a fact. There was nothing he can do better for his situation. He was born into this. It was already prophesied the son of Sanders, the son of Prime, would always go through this type of ridicule. As you guys could see, when he was in the HBCUs, he was the media darling. They love him and his father. Everything you heard was great this and great that. The minute Coach Prime took that contract with the Power 5 schools and Power 6, he became enemy number one, if not already. Because who's to say guys in the media didn't harbor this vindictive, venom that's known as vengeance? A lot of guys wanted their licks back. Coach Prime being a brother who can look you in the eyes and say you ain't nothing. Oh, it rubs people the wrong way, especially the male community who, not all, but a lot of them were told they were better than us since they were adolescents. So when they grow up and the reality hit, these group of people who they look down their entire life is by far better than them, or somewhat better than them, or equal to them. It makes them look in the mirror. It's something that almost no humans want to do, not even a step infections, because to look in that mirror would have a realization that you're not the flyest guy in the room. And a lot of human beings can't harbor that mentality. You have to know you're by far better than this individual, at least in their mindset. They have to know that. They can't understand to be a leader. You have to learn how to follow, or to understand the human nature. You have to understand all humans. No, they have to know that they're better. So when Shedeur walks in the room, the insecurities hit harder than anything that Babe Ruth or the great Barry Bond ever hit out the park. And that's a reality that nobody, I don't care if you're melanated, male, nobody wants that reality, to know that this other group of people or person or individual might be better than me. It's a reality they all don't want to face. But I have to face that to know that DJ Bless One isn't the greatest in the room, but I feel great. I feel, a conquering type of mindset. That way I can adapt and get acclimated to any room you throw me in. So I do agree with a lot of the things Boogie Knight said, but it should never be something that gets, a negative connotation or points be deducted from you because you got comfortable with your future employer who pretended to be one way off the camera and on the camera another way, or behind the meeting rooms one way, and while in the secret meeting rooms with their fellow peers, they're really laughing at you or ridiculing who your father is. So at the end of the day, great interviews. Y'all go subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I don't really have nothing negative to say about them other than keep doing a good work and being non-biased and just standing on principles. Shout out to Boogie Knight. Enjoyed what you talked about. Enjoyed it a lot. Y'all let me know in the comment sections how you feel about it, and I'll definitely rebuttal any of you guys. I'm DJ Bless One, the best one. Never forget, this is deeper than football, and it's bigger than football. But I will always tell every single one of you guys to love your family, to love your kids, and stay blessed.
Heart been broke so many times.